I'm going to share with you the good, the not so good, the amazing things with YouTube, and how it's changed my life from being a viewer to a creator with less than 500 subs. And plus, I'll give some YouTube tips too, as well. So, right now, I am like super close to being at 200 subs, and I started this journey 265 days ago, approximately January 22nd of 2024. I have done now, this being number 39 video, basically doing a video once a week, and then plus doing right about 52 shorts or so. The journey at this point has been pretty fascinating. And now allow me to take you back to how this all began. Now, this all actually started about 2 years ago or so. My health was starting to decline. I would go for hikes and I would lose energy and I would almost completely pass out. And then I was having instances where I would be out with friends, and before we would go and have dinner, we'd be conversating outside and almost passing out there too. I was uh, I was getting really weak, and I was attempting numerous of different things to restore myself back to at least a semi-normal state. I was starting to become very depressed, feeling like I was losing my sense of freedom and independence, and not wanting to bring others into my downward spiral. At that point, I decided to end my social media presence with Facebook and IG. And that's almost been about 3 years, leaving in December. Okay. Maybe I'll make a video on 195 days of being off of social media. Inevitably, I adopted what some might call monk mode. But something really great happened during those dark times. I had discovered Wayne Dyer, and mind you, he had already passed, but his words and his wisdom lived on in YouTube, and of course his books too. I've acquired a few. Here, let me show. I say I've got a few of them. And yes, I've read all except for this one right here. And reason being, he did not write that book. So now I understood a little bit better of why I had a hard time getting into it. So from there, it actually inspired me to start my own YouTube channel, not only for the longevity part of things, but being able to positively impact and empower others through mindset. And why mindset? I've overcome many personal hurdles and life altering challenges. From a medical mishap that almost left me completely bedridden, from being in a wheelchair to walking, being diagnosed with a lifelong autoimmune condition, then to add on top of all of that, the challenging childhood that I had experienced, from being abused, being abandoned twice, going witnessing 3 divorces, all with infidelities. Dad cheated on mom, new wife cheated on dad, mom cheated on stepdad, and this all had basically occurred by the time I was 16. Also, why mindset? Years of being a sales coach and consultant has taught me while improving skills are important, the biggest factor with boosting sales is the mindset. So now, after making the decision to start doing a YouTube channel, I still waited another 8 months before actually getting that going. And the reason being is this is I wanted to ensure that I was committed with doing this. And here's one of those YouTube tips for you. Commit to a consecutive uploading schedule, to whether you're going to be making 2 videos a week, 1 video a week, or maybe even it's 1 video bi-weekly. Choose your schedule and commit to that. Now, the funny thing with my first video, I literally just winged it. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to talk about. I had these cards. I figured, okay, I'm going to pull this card and I'm going to talk about that subject because I was like, I've got to have something. I got to start doing something. I just knew needed to start something, so at least I had, like, a benchmark and grow from there. And wow, were, like, my eyes all over the place. Well, mostly my eyes were looking up. I tend to and I never realized this until watching back my video, that I have that tendency to look up when I'm thinking. So, a quick little bonus tip, if you notice somebody when you talk with them, if they happen to look up a lot when they talk, they are a visual person, because so when they look up, they're visualizing, they're seeing it in their head. So let's get into the not so good. Holy crap. There are so many hats to wear with YouTube, so many skills to learn. And if it was just only just press record, but it is only just press record and go from there because you don't know until you go. However, there is a lot to learn. Let me here go ahead and share with you the list. First, we've got designing a thumbnail. Next is crafting a title. Then there's figure out lighting. Oh, and I've had a fun one with that, and I'm still learning with that. Then there's camera presence. Then you have research and picking your topic. But then once you've picked your topic, then you get to structure your topic. So, you're having your what's going to be your hook, the content, the how you're going to end it. Then we've got editing. And my hats off to you guys who edit and who do editing and who's doing their own editing. Whew, y'all doing some work. So as you see, there's a lot that goes into creating a YouTube video. Like I'm saying, it's not just press record. I mean, like I said, it is just press record. However, there's a bit more that goes into it than just pressing record. And honestly, that part of things I'm really enjoying. And I had zero experience with editing. I had no clue whatsoever. But I find it so fascinating because I feel like for me, it's like the video is a piece is clay and I'm crafting it into a piece of art. And sometimes I have no idea what I'm going to be ending up doing until I'm in the moment of doing it. Now, the not so good, amazing thing. Doing YouTube can basically bringing up triggers and some wounds, hence the not so good, amazing side. And if you're anything like me and like personal development and like growth, you embrace these kind of things. And for some others, it can be not so good. I know some people out there, if they have low views, they would take that as a personal reflection of themselves, like thinking that there's something wrong with them. And for my wound that ended up showing for me, and I'll share with you, I was not the best at celebrating my wins. Work in progress. So once I had realized this, I really dug into it. I journaled about it. I spoke to some others in regards to it to really figure out what the heck. Hey, because, the best way out is through. Then I had realized what it was. I had allowed my past abuse to guide me on not celebrating those things because if I had stayed in the shadows, it had lessened my chance of being hit. And then from there, I dug out this old quote I had once heard. And now you might have heard of this before. It was also really well known on the big screen from the movie Coach Carter.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate.
Our deepest fears is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. And I'll put the full saying in the description in the comments below for you. It's a pretty great reminder during those challenging times. Now, the amazing. So, one, the longevity nature of these videos. They will continue to exist long after I'm gone. And it's amazing to think about how these videos could continue to impact and empower others. And not only just others and serves as a meaningful legacy for my children and possibly my children's children. Secondly, doing these videos has really helped and improved my ability to give reasons and insight for topics. Not just, hey, cold showers are good for you, but as example, but the research has shown it increases white blood cell count, raise testosterone, increase metabolism. Thermogenesis is the fancy word. And thirdly, lastly, but definitely not least, has been has been the feedback. People who've reached out to me and expressed to me that that video was exactly what they needed at that time. And that has made it incredibly worth it all. My ultimate goal with this channel is to impact over 100,000 people in a positive and empowering way. Okay, now some of those mindset tips with YouTube. One, enjoy the process and have fun. There is a learning curve with this. So take this in chunks, take it in strides. Remember, you're the one that's in the arena, and everybody else is just in the stadiums. You've got this. Which now leads me to my second point. Work on becoming 1% better with each video upload, whether it being from the thumbnail, whether it being from the thumbnail design to your title to the intro. Just continue to work on 1%. And a quick other little added bonus for you since you've been with me for this long, compare you with you. There are a lot of people who've been on YouTube for years. And if you start to compare your chapter 3 to their chapter 33, it's unfair to your journey and your growth. So remember, compare you with you. Now, what's the good? Nah, it's amazing. Not just good. Now, keep empowering that mindset. And if you'd like to learn 3 easy and effective ways to empower your mindset and boost your mental game, then go ahead and check out this video next. But if you want to see what YouTube suggests for you next, then go ahead and check out this video. And while I'm still here holding my finger up in the air, if you hadn't already, make sure to hit that like button. And also, if you feel so called to do so, make sure if you hadn't yet, subscribe.